Welcome to the Fit Dad Nation podcast, forging strong fathers and raising a stronger generation. It's time to get up or shut up with your host, Steve Roy.
Hey guys, Steve Roy here, host of the Fit Dad Nation podcast. Welcome to the show. Thanks for listening. So we're heading into the new year here very shortly. Today is the 28th of December when I'm recording the show. And 2020 so far is, pretty much sucked on all accounts. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about something positive today because there's a lot of negative to focus on. So we're going to look forward to hopefully a better year. So I've actually recorded a couple of shows about this already because back on November 1st, myself and our Inner Circle program, which is our private member program, started what is called the 75 Hard Challenge. If you've listened to any of my shows in the last month or so, you know all about it. So we started this challenge with 18 guys. It's kind of been an up and down roller coaster, not only for me, but for a lot of the guys, and we knew this was going to happen going into this over the holidays. We had, Thanksgiving, Christmas, which were going to be hurdles for some guys. And, it's been interesting. We've seen just a lot of different things come up that, presented a challenge where each man would have to decide if they wanted to continue with the challenge or not. And, me personally, if you follow my story, I ended up having to start over. I think it was day 17. I went to the beach on vacation. It's kind of funny because we got there, we were with some friends, and the first night we were there, we ordered this Italian food from this restaurant, and it was down in North Carolina, and it was amazing from what I could see and smell. But however, I was eating the Whole30 diet. Almost everything on that menu was not on my menu. So I was literally just dying. I was starving. And I honestly contemplated just throwing in the towel and restarting the challenge after the vacation, and basically scrapping all 17 days. I chose not to do that. However, a couple of days later, I woke up and it hit me that I had forgotten to take my progress photo the day before. And I was thinking, now I had been at the beach for 3 or 4 days already. And so I missed a bunch of meals. And so I wasn't happy. I mean, to say the least, I was pissed, because one of the things you're supposed to do during this challenge, you have to do, is take a progress photo, right? It seems simple enough, very easy, right? Well, it is, but the whole idea behind it is to keep up with that consistency, the little things. And that was such a small thing. I was so focused on the diet piece of it that I just overlooked it, forgot it. And so I posted about it. I was honest about it, and I started over. So I got back into it, restarted my challenge, and then I ended up going into a doctor's appointment just a few weeks ago to follow up on a surgery I had like 6 years ago. 6 years ago, they found a tumor in my right arm. They removed it. It was pretty nasty, and I didn't think much about it after that. However, I went back for a follow-up, and as it turns out, the tumor had returned, come back larger, it come back more spread out, so I chose to have the surgery done immediately. So I had that done just about 2 weeks ago. And so I've taken myself out of the challenge this time electively here. So, I've got 2 big incisions on my arm, pain meds, all that stuff. So I'm going to be restarting my challenge when I'm back at 100%. But yeah, I've seen quite a few guys, things have popped up, life events. We have a guy that his wife had asked for a divorce right in the middle of this challenge. And obviously, if you've ever gone through that, it's unbelievably stressful. And so, dealing with something like that. And we've had quite a few guys bow out of the challenge with the idea to restart January 1st, which is what we're doing. However, the guys that remain are killing it. So if you know anything about the 75 Hard, this is, I think there's hundreds of thousands of people that have done this challenge across the world. It's, put on by Andy Frisella, owner of First Form Supplements. And it's a really popular challenge. And the basic premise is follow 5 things, do them every single day for 75 days. And, the idea is to really improve your mental toughness. And of course, along the way, when you're doing good things to your body will reward you. So most people that I've seen have really radically changed their physiques, in addition to a number of other mental, emotional improvements as well. So the 5 things are: 1, workout twice a day. Workouts have to be 45 minutes at least, and one has to be outside regardless of weather. Okay. Number 2 is pick a diet, has to be healthy, and follow it. Okay, follow it. You don't have to box yourself into any particular diet. You don't have to do keto or anything like that. You just choose something that works for you, but then you have to stick to it with 0 cheat meals, 0 alcohol. You can't have any cheat meals at all, 75 days. Number 3, you're going to drink a gallon of water every single day, which is harder than it sounds. Number 4, you're going to read at least 10 pages of nonfiction per day. Personal growth being the idea behind this. And then lastly is take your progress photo. You don't have to post it publicly, but you do have to take it. So those 5 things you do every single day for 75 days. Now, when I first read about this, I was intrigued. I had heard a lot about it. I started doing a little bit of research, and I decided that we were going to do it inside our private group called the Fit Dad Nation Inner Circle. And instead of just posting the challenge and saying good luck, I put together a whole guide that would help guys stick with it. And we've created a spreadsheet for tracking, partnered guys up with accountability buddies. And then we do weekly calls to answer questions, talk about the challenge, what's working, what's not. And so, the accountability piece is huge, especially in a long challenge like this, where it's so easy to kind of fall under the radar, slip up and disappear. And so my goal behind this was really to have as many guys as possible get through this whole challenge the first time around. And that hasn't happened. We've had a number of guys fall out, including myself. But the guys that are still there, I've seen a tremendous difference in the men that are remaining, because they've really just put their head down. They've committed to it. And despite, stuff coming up, as always does, they've chosen to suck it up and just, remember their commitments to themselves, their team, their spouse, the group. And so I've been so inspired by some of these men, and I've seen, week after week, they're showing up on the calls, they're posting in the group, and just watching not only their physiques change, because you see the before and afters. I'm looking at these pictures like, man, they're just shrinking and, getting more muscular and losing that fat. But just hearing them talk about how it's changing their life, how their confidence is improving, non-scale victories is really what I'm more interested in. I'm not as interested in seeing the scale weight versus, how are your clothes fitting? Are you able to get into, like we had a guy get into a pair of 32 jeans after many years of not being able to do that. He threw all of his 32s away thinking, I'll never get there. Well, he got there. I think he started at 210, 215, and he's down to 180, or 188. And just watching him lean out and get stronger and more confident and feel good about himself, and being at a weight he hasn't been in at 20 plus years, it's crazy. And so I'm seeing this in different guys, and that's what it's about. It's not, it's not about, hey man, I lost 20 pounds. It's, I just committed to this, and now we're, about 2 months into this. So we're coming up pretty soon on the end of this thing, but they've just got a whole new lease on life, a whole new outlook. And so I've decided to run this challenge again in the group. So again, and to be fair, this is a free challenge. So you can go online, you can Google it. It's, it's just, you can find the template. Just like I said, there's only 5 things to do. There are free groups online that you can join that will help you. We do this inside of our private program. It's a paid program. But I really wanted to add the component of individual coaching, group coaching, and really hone in on the accountability piece, which is huge. And because, honestly, a lot of us as dads just don't have that. We don't have that accountability system. We don't have that in place. And it can make the difference absolutely between success and failure. I've seen it time and time again over the years. And so that's why I want to do that. So we're going to be starting this challenge again January 1st, 75 days. You can get more information about that at fitdadnation.com/75hard. And so I'm someone that really thrives on challenges. I like to push myself. And one of the main things that we've done inside of our Inner Circle program is create a space where we do monthly challenges where you're constantly being pushed out of your comfort zone, tested in different ways. And I think that's one of the benefits of having a group like this. And so this challenge, is longer than typically what we normally do. We normally do 30-day challenges, sometimes even shorter. This is a pretty long challenge. And like I said, I really think that the benefits off the scale are going to outweigh the benefits that you're going to see on the scale. And like if you go to the Facebook group, the 75 Hard Facebook group that's run by Andy, you're going to see some massive transformations. And honestly, 75 days, it's 2.5 months. And you might think, well, I've been overweight for the last 20 years, or I've got 40, 50, 60 pounds of weight sitting on me that I haven't been able to lose forever. And, looking at this and thinking, well, 2.5 months really isn't that long. But when you're really committed to something like this, and 2 days, and this isn't like 2-a-day workouts where you're just beating the hell out of your body. You can use mobility, yoga, Pilates. You can be doing walks, hikes, bikes, swims as part of your workouts for one of your workouts. So don't feel like, you just have to kill your body, which isn't good for you anyway. But just doing these 2 days, so being far more active. So, most people aren't nearly that active, but when you have to get up and you have to make an effort twice a day to be moving, pushing weights around, doing whatever, your body is going to start changing. Okay. When you choose a diet, and again, it has to be healthy, right? I've talked about this many times before. For any diet to be healthy, it has to be, for any diet to be successful, it has to be healthy, it has to be sustainable, and it has to get you results. So it has to cover those three things. So, if you're going to try to do some zero carb diet for 75 days, yet you're used to eating half of your calories from carbohydrates, you're going to fail, right? You're going to struggle. You're going to be miserable beyond belief. You're going to fail. That's not what this is about. This is about choosing something that makes sense. For me, for example, I love a primal approach, an ancestral approach to eating with just basic whole foods, single ingredient foods, nothing too crazy. A lot of meat, fruits and vegetables, eggs, full fat dairy, nuts and seeds and oils, stuff like that. It's not that hard at all for me to stick with that, and it's healthy. It gets results for me. And so if you stick with that for 75 days and whatever you choose, you will absolutely see a difference, because most people, when they diet, it's for a very short amount of time. Because when most people diet, they do something extreme, they do something that's way out of their comfort zone, do something that they don't really want to do, but they think that they need to do, and it just doesn't work for longer than a few weeks, a month, maybe. I've had a lot of conversations with guys who thought that keto was the answer because they've heard so many people talk about it. It's on Instagram, it's on Facebook. Their friend did it, their mother did it, and they think that's the best way. Cut out all your carbs, and you're just going to just magically lose weight and feel amazing. And it just doesn't work that way. And so, when you're trying something like that, even if you have really strong willpower, if you're not prepared for, the lows with energy and the crashes and the hunger pains and the headaches and things that come with removing carbohydrates from your diet, you're gonna quit. It's just what it is. And so that's what we're not looking for. So if you choose to take on this challenge, whether you're with us or you're not with us, I want you to find an approach to eating, whether, and again, this could be anything that works for you, whether it's like a zone diet, it could be that too. Carnivore is popular, paleo. There's just obviously a million diets out there. It doesn't even have to be a diet. You could say, I'm not going to have any fast food or soda. That could be your diet. Okay? If you're a junk foodaholic, yeah, you remove the junk food. That could be your diet, but you can't have any junk food for 75 days. Right? So think about that, the power behind 2.5 months of eating clean. Your body is, first of all, going to say, what the fuck is going on? Because it's so used to processed foods and grease and oil and sugar and salt and all the things that are in all that junk. And once you remove that, your body's it's not going to be happy with you initially, but it will be after. So give it 2.5 months, give it 75 days and see how you feel. Your body absolutely will start changing. It will reward you. You're moving more. You're eating better. You're drinking a ton of water. You've replaced your alcohol, your beers, your sodas, your energy drinks. You replace all of that with water. And that's only can help your body, right? And of course, the other things that aren't directly tied to your fitness level, taking a photo and doing some reading. Okay, I mean, let's face it, we can all learn more. I mean, I really only read nonfiction anyway because I figure if I'm going to take the time to read, I will actually want to learn something instead of just read about somebody's imagination, but that's just my opinion. And so it's great. I mean, we've got guys in our group that have read, 3, 4, 5 books already that are super inspired or super motivated by a certain book. I know like David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, has been a huge one for the guys. I haven't read it yet, but I've read a number of other books as part of this. So you really can't, you can't go wrong doing the right things for your body. And again, that's what this is about. That's what any good challenge, anything that's going to test you, anything that's going to push you out of your comfort zone, anything that's going to ask you to do healthy things instead of unhealthy things is going to benefit you all around. We know that. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking about doing this challenge, I'm inviting you. This is not a free challenge in our group, okay? This is a paid challenge, and I honestly believe that the value is far more. I mean, it's a couple $100 to do a challenge that could literally change your life. I mean, you spend a couple $100 on a couple of dinners, I don't want you to think about that aspect of it, because having a coach, having a group of guys going through this with you, sharing your wins, having ideas, having a designated partner, having a coach there with you along the way, being able to ask questions when you start struggling, when you start thinking about quitting, there's somebody there for you to make sure that doesn't happen. And that's the idea behind this. Is it foolproof? Of course not. Guys are going to quit regardless. But I really wanted to provide the framework, and I think we have just a great group of guys. Almost all of our dads are over 35. A lot of guys in the same kind of boat, and it just comes with the territory, right? When you start getting older, you start getting, body starts to change a little bit. And a lot of times we're sedentary for a long time, years, we're sitting a lot, stress, obligations, we put ourselves last, right? We get overweight, we get weak, tired, tight muscles, struggle with push-ups, can't do a pull-up. A lot of that stuff is across the board for a lot of these guys. And so that's what we want to turn around. We want to turn back the clock on this stuff. And I've seen it happen not just with this challenge, but over the years coaching dads in the Fit Dad Nation. I've been doing this for over 5 years now, full-time in the Fit Dad Nation. And it absolutely can happen. I don't care if you are 300 pounds. You can start somewhere. Does that mean you're going to be doing crazy exercises, burpees, and 2 a days where you're going to kill your body? Of course not, right? You're going to start where you're at. You're going to do what you're capable of doing, but you are going to hit those goals. You are going to do 2 45 minutes. You are going to stick to your diet. I promise you're going to feel better. You're going to look better. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more confidence. And I honestly believe this can be a game changer for you. And if you're looking to start off on a win streak, you want to start something positive in 2021, absolutely take a look at the program. Love to have you if you're ready to get to work. Again, fitdadnation.com/75 hard. I'll see you there.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, if you want more information, check out the Fit Dad Basecamp group on Facebook. And don't forget to stop by fitdadnation.com. Until next time, keep kicking ass and taking the next step. You can do this, Dad.